Hello, beautiful people. This is the Inspiration Trilogy, a platform for women to come together, share wisdom, advice, and stories, and really just have some meaningful conversations. So today's guest is Steph Gobraiel. I hope I said that right. So you're the founder of Virtual Associate Services. You're an award finalist, and we have actually co-authored a book together, An Enlightened Life. So welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much, Marika. I'm so excited to be here. I'm good, thank you.
So for all the listeners out there who might be new to hearing your name, tell us a little bit about you, your journey, and how you got to where you are now, how with your new empire.
Yeah, sure. So I was in the corporate world for 15 years, and then I had my little girl, and I felt like I was made to choose between being a mum and, being that ambitious sort of 1.0 version of me.
Yeah.
And I just you can't work 10, 12-hour days and be a mum. It's, with your business, it's different, but in the corporate world, it's a very different, ball game sort of thing. So
it is, and it's harder to take time off and to be more flexible.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I just thought you know what, I'm going to start a business, see what happens. And worst case, I can always go back if it doesn't work out sort of thing. So I started as a VA and, juggling a newborn and, starting a business is like having two babies, right? Like you have no idea. There's no manual. To
I know, I was in the same boat.
And it's like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? I've still got the brain fog. I've still got, the lack of sleep and everything else. But I did it. And and then fast forward 2 years and I did a major rebrand and I sort of came up for air. I got off the hamster wheel and I really looked at what am I doing, and then I transferred my skills from the corporate world into my business, and that was part of my rebrand. And here we are today, 4.5 years later.
Wow. And for anyone who hasn't had a look at your website yet, I was just saying to you earlier, you've got an amazing website. You've got a beautiful personality, you offer so many different services to help other people in business, to share that load a little bit. Because like I said, it can be quite overwhelming. I started a business when my son was 10 months old, and I'm a solo mum. So, I understand the complexities of that. You're up all night, breastfeeding or what have you, and you're running on little sleep. So, but it's also a beautiful thing to be able to start your own business, and the desire of a mama to do what she wants to do and have that flexibility around her child is just that gives you that sheer determination to sort of motivation to make that happen. And it's a beautiful thing as well, because so many mums find it challenging to go back to work, and I don't think we should never really be forced to do that, because being a mum is such a beautiful thing and it's so soul changing. And work is work. It's always going to be there. But at the end of the day, when you move on from this world, you want to be able to have those memories of, being a beautiful mother and sharing those family memories. And I know that's a big part of your business as well. You're very, very much sort of family based and offering that support to other mums. So how is your sort of business giving you the platform to really be able to offer that support, that family support and family time to other women out there?
I don't. So the way I sort of communicate that, Marika, is family is part of my values in business. And whenever I speak to a potential client, I say to them, I'm the primary carer for my daughter. So it's not going to be like, your average hours. I will keep you in the loop as to what's happening and all of that sort of thing. But she comes first. And I think that's my big shift with having my daughter. And I think it's a blessing that, everything, it's family first and then business. The business evolves around my family life, not the other way around. And I think when I was in the corporate world, it was business first. Yeah. And then you looked after yourself, you know? So
I really love that you do that. And it's something that I used to mention to my clients as well. Like there will be times when my son comes first, and that's my priority as a mother. the work can still get done. The time frames are still adhered to, you know, because you can work out of hours. That's the beauty of being, you know, being virtual. You can work at any time. So, and you also have a team of amazing women under your belt that kind of help you along as well. So how did you go from a solopreneur to growing this team of women? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, funnily enough, they actually, so the ladies that are on my team, they're mums. They're mums
Yeah.
in business. So I love to keep it in that circle of mums in business, you know,
Yeah, that's
supporting other
beautiful.
mums.
Yeah.
And, you know, they help me with different aspects of my business. And then if there is something they can help with a client, they're my first go-to. Because the way I look at it, Marika, is if I trust them with an area of my business, I can trust them with one of my clients, you know, areas of business as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, you know, there's nothing more personal other than your kids than your business as well, right? So people want to know, and that's what I actually say to them. I say, this person works for me, so I can guarantee you that, hand on heart, that they will look after your business the way they look after mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So it's about supporting other mums in business. You know, if there's anything that I can do to, you know, just even have a chat, you know, if they want that, I'm happy to do that. And it's no obligation, you know, Marika, because one really big thing that really bothered me about the corporate world, you know, and I'm sure a lot of mums, I've had a lot of conversations about this as well, is that there's a lot of boys clubs and the men support each other, and you see them go through, you know, the different levels supporting each other. But the women are just like, I hate to say this, but it felt like we were just leftovers.
Yeah,
right?
and it's like that sort of generally in society as well. And it's really great that we're kind of you know, women are kind of changing that now, and we're really standing up for ourselves, and we can do all these things, and we can be a mother, and it doesn't make us a lesser being. Gosh, it's the most amazing thing to be able to bring life into this world. So, and you know, we can work and be a mum, and it's not a problem. And I found when I was in the corporate world, you know, some jobs that you sort of went to, if they found out that you were a mum, it's like, you're going to need time off sometimes, aren't you? Oh, and it would really kind of hinder the opportunities, and that's not the way that it should be. Because, and the joy about doing things virtually is that it just makes it easier, and we are these amazing ways. It doesn't make us any less intelligent being a mother. If anything, it makes us more intuitive and more aligned with being able to support and in the right way. So I think that's really beautiful that you are supporting other mums through this journey as well, and as a collective working together, it's a beautiful thing. So
And then, you know,
awesome.
going from the corporate world, Marika, to the small business world, and seeing that freedom of, you can do whatever you want. If you want to support, if you want to empower women, you can do that. You know, the sky's the limit sort of thing. And I'm like, it's about time that we sort of put women first, and we stand together and lift each other up, you know, in order to, you know, help our businesses flourish. If I can recommend someone, you know, that I know in business, I do that, because I would rather it go, because, you know, you're supporting a family. Right? And that's what it comes back to. You know, when you're supporting a small business, especially mums in business or women, supporting a family, you know, and there's no better feeling than knowing that you can connect people, knowing that, you know, you're helping their livelihood essentially. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so beautiful. And so for other women out there listening today, so how do you feel is the best way to support other women in business, other than engaging their service if it's not something that's the right fit? How can we, I mean, I know, and it's out there, I mean, how would you say is the best way to really support each other through that?
I think, you know, just small things like, you know, if you're speaking to people and they're looking for somebody, you know, in business that could, you know, with a service or whatever it may be, you know, share people's posts, you know, and say, this is a friend of mine in, you know, in this industry. If you're looking for someone, you know, it's those really small things, you know, that really sort of highlight, women in business, and it shows that we're supporting each other. Like every month as well, Marika, I have a service-based business be a guest in my newsletter, and I do a post on that. And do you know what I mean? So in that way, I'm what's the word? And they give me tips for my newsletter. But what I'm doing is I'm indirectly supporting them by putting them on social media as well,
And it doesn't take much to do that, right? Like, it's so easy to just put something out there and share the love and share that generosity. And it's a beautiful thing. And even supporting each other, even outside of business on, an emotional level, and maybe have a sounding board and just really share the journey together as mums, as businesswomen, as whatever, because it can be a lonely experience too, being an entrepreneur and doing everything yourself. So just being able to talk to someone and another mum who gets it, there's good days, there's bad days, it is what it is, but having that support is just so, so vital. So I really love what you're doing and the way that you're supporting other women. And so do you understand do you do networking as well?
I do. So I actually host a Sydney women's meetup on behalf of She Will Shine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's just bringing women in business together to have some morning tea and, connect with other like-minded women in business. It's a thing that I do to give back. It's not something, that I get paid for. But I love doing that because, you're creating new connections, you're building on connections that you already have.
Yeah.
And, again, it's that just bringing women in business together who some of them are mums, and it's just.
And having that face-to-face connection, because it's about having, I know we're doing sort of Zoom today, and Zoom's kind of the way of doing things, but having that in-person connection and that energy exchange is, it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. So I do that as well. But, again, I feel so great afterwards. You always hear, this was so good, this was so helpful. It's just nice to connect with other, business owners, because as you said, being in business, because it's not like we've got an empire here. It can be quite lonely as well,
and so can motherhood. I mean, you've got all this craziness that happens sometimes, and we love our kids, but they have their moments. So it's really, it's sharing that journey as a village of women, supporting each other through our journey in life and to help us be our best versions of ourselves, because we can't do everything on our own. In any aspect of life, it's to have that support is very encouraging. So going towards our book that we wrote together, An Enlightened Life, for those of you who have not heard of it, we'll be putting all the links and everything in the bio. So a little bit, so to you as a woman, what is an enlightened life to you? What does that mean to you?
To me, Marika, I think it means that the journey I had, starting out as a mom and as a business owner, it was enlightening because I've never had a steeper learning curve. I've never had a steeper self-growth phase in my life. And that was so enlightening. And that's what it means to me, going on, on a path that's unknown.
Yeah.
And, all the challenges that it came with it, like I had so many challenges starting out as a mum because, I didn't know much about motherhood and what that would be like. And we don't talk about, certain things, taboo, subjects that we should be talking about.
Yeah.
There's so much of it,
Yeah.
But mum to mum, we're like, oh, yeah, I know that, And it's like, well, why are we talking about this, Like, why aren't we making this more, we speak about everything else in public. Why is this like a mum code where, oh, yeah, I feel mum guilt too, and, oh, yeah, I could never win some days.
I think sometimes as women, we don't want to sort of admit that we might be struggling as a mum. And it changes your whole life, and on such a deep soul level, like you were saying, it's incredible, but it can be overwhelming as well. And you're in you're looking after this little human, and there's just so many different things that you don't know that do need to be discussed more. And you can have those moments where you're feeling overwhelmed, or you might be feeling, depression and things like that, and you're running on no sleep. I mean, that is the hardest part, running on no sleep, because it brings everything out to the fore. So it's, being able to speak about that and just share the load is really important. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you have, what do you have planned for the future? Now you've done so much with your business. You've been an award finalist. You've written this book, and so what do you have planned in the future?
So I'm actually writing a part 2 to Enlightened Life.
Yes.
The Resilient Life, and that's more about business, being a mum, and putting those like the lessons out of the the first couple of years of a roller coaster, and just really those lessons and the self-growth that's come from it. So that's one thing that will be released later this year.
Awesome.
Which is exciting.
Yes, just in time for Christmas.
Yes, that's right. And I'm not sure, to be honest, I want to keep, like, I'm doing a little bit more speaking at the moment, and I'm not sure if that's going to go anywhere, but I really want to sort of push on, supporting women, and because I feel like it's a passion of mine, alongside my business.
Yes. Yep.
And it's just to give back. It feels incredible,
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think not everyone has that gift, and that's fine. But when you have that, it's like you want to encourage, you want to, like when I sometimes see people, they go, oh, your posts are so inspiring, and I'm like, really? I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad, because sometimes it's like a void out there, like,
people don't always respond or comment or anything like that.
Right.
So it's really nice to have that feedback and know that you are really touching someone. So
and just it's incredible. So for 2024, I'm not sure yet. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm willing to ride this roller coaster called business and life, and we'll see where it takes us, right? Like,
well,
not
watch
always
this space.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, and to finish up with things, I like to ask people, so what is your favorite inspirational, motivational quote, and why?
Growth comes at the edge of your comfort zone, and that's by Brene Brown.
Really does.
And it does, because, and I love that, because I've never had so much self-growth in my whole life as much as I've had in the last 5 years. My daughter's 5 now. So
my son's 5 as well.
Yeah.
Being a mother and starting a business is like a double whammy, but it's so much growth, and it's incredible. It's beautiful.
It is, and you've just got to embrace it. Sometimes it's hard, and you've got to just keep going. But don't give up, because once you're out of that rough patch, it's the grass is greener, and and you learn. You grow and you learn, and you change as a person from doing that as well.
And you mold your direction and your path. And it's it's beautiful. Oh, I love that. So for all the listeners out here who are listening today, if they want to reach out to you, have a bit of a chat, or learn more about you, where's the best place to do that, to find more about you?
Sure. So I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram and on Facebook. So if you type in Steph Gobraiel, Steph Gobraiel, or visit my website, virtualassociateservices.com.au. You can book in a time to have a chat with me if you want to have a chat from there, and send me an email. Like, my door's always open. I know it's probably the wrong thing to say, but I do say that my door's always open. Because I get it, I get it. It's a tough gig, being a mum and a business owner and running a household, and
it is,
all the activities that come with, children and everything. Everything's got to take a turn. That's the way that's what I say. Everything's just got to take a turn. And to be
and that's why
yourself.
Yeah, and that's why having that village of support and women around you and sharing the load is just so important. So look, I've loved talking to you today. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and advice, women out there. So we'll be putting all your information and links and everything in the bio. So for everyone out there, stay tuned. We'll have some new episodes up soon. And Steph, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Marika. It's been a blast.
Okay, thanks again, everyone, and we'll be up with more episodes soon. Bye.